So, with the Marvel's Avengers video game coming out toward the end of last year and the upcoming series based on this character on Disney Plus, I figured now was the best time to get a hold of one of the more modern characters of Marvel that I really enjoy, Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, her Marvel Legends figure based on the comic book version of the character. Why is now the best time? Because the video game version has kind of besmirched the character a little bit annoyingly, even though she was one of the better things about that game. That game is dreadful, by the way. But yeah, so I was like, right, so they're obviously going to be dropping the price of some Ms. Marvel stuff, but when her MCU Disney Plus series comes out later in the year, all of the classic stuff is going to go up in price. So I picked this up on Amazon. I'm very much looking forward to opening this. Kamala Khan, she comes with part of the Sandman Build-A-Figure. This is a wave of figures which I really wanted at the time, but I just couldn't afford it. If you really want me to continue collecting this, and you're happy to pony up the cash, get a shout out for a review, then let me know which figure you'd like to buy me. I'll put it on my Amazon wishlist and you can pick it up. Link will be in the description for the Amazon wishlist. But there is a modern Green Goblin, modernish Green Goblin figure. Spidey 2099, Miguel's redesigned suit. Spidey UK. Ms. Marvel. A pretty decent Hasbro Marvel Legends symbiote Spider-Man. The Jackal, very cool figure. And Shocker, classic boy, based on his Superior Foes of Spider-Man look. In fact, all of these looks are from sort of the most recent years of the comic, like Spider-Verse iterations and things like that. The Build-A-Figure Sandman does look quite cool. It's a tall version of Flint Marko. There's big old sandy hands and a couple alternate heads, if I remember correctly, that come with the Green Goblin figure. Which is hilarious because Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, and Sandman share the same weird white guy cornrows. We've got Ms. Marvel's logo up at the top. Kamala is here. And her bio reads thus. It goes into focus. With shape-shifting powers and distinct inhuman abilities, Kamala Khan becomes Ms. Marvel. Nice stylish picture as well. Yep. Created by the Terrigen Mists of the Inhumanity event and Infinity and all that jazz. We have the comic book version of Ms. Marvel. Let's get her open. Kamala Khan! Here. One thing you'll notice right off the bat, she is of a shorter stature than the other sort of more average height Marvel figures, which is something Hasbro's maintained really well scale-wise. Kamala is young. She's like 15, 16, so they've made sure that she is a tiny lady. She's a short queen and we stand. Before we have a look at Kamala, we've got Sandman torso. Again, I'm not currently planning on collecting the full Build-A-Figure, but if you want a fun toward it, then you can see him be more than just a crotch and a bulky chest. So there we are. Well, like, nicely painted piece. Like, he's very cool, but, you know, obviously without the full figure, there's not much more I can say, so never mind him. Right, Kamala. Let's see what we're dealing with articulation-wise. You got your standard little foot joint, which you should always be careful of first time out, because the paint can get very, very stiff and you don't want to crack the foot. My recommendation is always bend backwards first, and then slide very... Oh, bloody hell, she's got stiff ankles. Oh my god! Oh, gotta be careful with this one. Do not want to break it. She's got very, very stiff ankles. Look at that foot separately. Swivel at the thigh. The skirt hampers the articulation of the legs only slightly, but because it's sort of cut at the sides, it means that you can pose her quite nicely. They've also sculpted it a bit wide anyway, so that's good. Bending at the knee. Oh, bend at the knee. Double joint bend at the knee, as you'd expect with a lot of the later Marvel Legends. She also has a swivel at the top of her calf, which isn't too ledgy, as I like to call it, which is good. Does she have a swivel at the waist? No. Doesn't appear she does, but she has a swivel at the ribs, and it's not particularly crunchy, but it has the option to be. She can extend her arm out, like so, with a singular joint at the elbow, which is quite common with the female figures of the Marvel lines. And she has a wrist swivel on both arms, with her golden bracelet there on that arm too. Head is a ball joint on a thing, so if you want to pop it off for customization, you can, which means if you wanted to remove her neckwear, you could do that. It is beautifully painted and sculpted, this. Really, really nice addition. And it's sort of sculpted in a way that whether you cross it that way or that way, it looks like it's blowing in a breeze, which is good. Facial sculpt on Kamala. She looks amazing. Skin tone is perfect with the plastic. Hair sculpt is fantastic. She's got a sort of quite confident smirk. This is a Ms. Marvel is like, yeah, I know I'm cool. Let's take a look at her embiggening accessories. So here she is with one of her arms embiggened, as is the accessories, the spare arms. The way you do it is, because it's a singular joint at the elbow, you just pop that sucker out, just give it a very gentle twist and pop it out, as I'll show you here. So take it there, just very gentle. There we go. Never yank it, because you don't want to break the articulation at the elbow itself. And there she ends up with her, oh god, balance-wise, she ends up with a big fist, a grabbing arm. So Kamala's embiggen powers her inhuman abilities to embiggen parts of her body. What I think would be cool is, considering they've started doing like individual Build-A-Figure releases lately, with like some of the MCU line, the Venom, anti-Venom figures like that, what might be really cool to see is if they just did some upscales. So I would love to see if they did an individual release Kamala using this mould, but just up the scale to like 10 inches. So then you could have a version of her with her embiggen powers where she is large to go with this one. So if you wanted to display this one, you could, but you could also display the version where she's like standing super tall and stretching. I think this is a great figure. Like, just paint apps wise, be careful with those feet. That's something to note. If you get this one, be very careful with the feet. The embiggening limbs look very, very cool. The face sculpt is phenomenal. I am super happy with this. I'm really, really happy with this one. I can't wait to add to the shelf, put it next to like Gwenpool and Miles Morales, get a bit of a Champions vibe going on. Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, the once and future Ms. Marvel. What do you think? Do you have this figure? Would you like this figure? Let me know down below. If you want to have a look at my Amazon wishlist, feel a bit generous and want to get a shout out, you could purchase a figure off of there that I will review here on this channel when I get it. But if you don't want to, you're under no obligation, don't worry about it. You can support me by liking, subscribing, if you enjoy the occasional toy reviews. You can also catch me streaming live on Twitch, which has nothing to do with toys, but there's a shed load of them in the background, so that might tickle your fancy. Much love, and I will see you all again soon. Ta-ra!